What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconetti Zone for another video where we are going to talk about how small of a club we have become. Not a name, not a fan base, because the name is still big. The fan base is still massive. One of the biggest clubs in the world. We're probably not gaining fans right now because I don't see anyone growing up watching Juve and be like, yeah, I'm going to support that team. However, we are moving like a small club. We're acting like a small club, and that's the biggest problem right now. It's not tactics, it's we're moving as a small club. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Before we get into it, hit the like button. Let's push to at least 100 likes on this video. So hit the like button now. Really appreciate it if you do, excuse me. Subscribe to the channel, close to 5K, and let's go. Okay, so when I say it, or when the title is small club, is we are moving like a small club. From top to bottom, we look like a small club because it's one win out of 9, and we don't hear from Scanavino, from Ferrero. We only hear them talk in forums, talking about TikTok followers. Nobody gives a damn about TikTok followers. I think being on TikTok is already a problem in itself, but whatever. We don't care about TikTok followers. We don't care about Twitter followers or Facebook followers or whatever. We don't care a shit about those things. That's what they want to discuss. But with one game out of 9, you let your coach waffle about every single week. What about you guys stepping up? And what about you guys, even if you do not come out and say he's doing a poor job, let it be known between the lines that you're quote unquote putting him on the hot seat if he's not already on the hot seat. We don't hear that at all. That's one. And again, we are a small club because if Salernitana win one game out of 9, they sack their coach because you know what? They want to stay in Serie A. They will do anything to stay in Serie A. What we are doing now is the same situation. We have one win out of 9. If you want to make Champions League still, you need a change. And I know nobody's coming in right now from the outside for 8 games. That's not the issue. The issue is somebody needs to get these players together and shake them up because the message Allegri is sending through the locker room is not working. After the game, I see him laughing. I see Rabiot laughing. They don't grasp the seriousness of the situation. They don't, and Allegri can come out saying the players are backing me. They're not. They're proving it on the pitch. They're not backing you. I can read body language. You can read body language. You can see Cambiasso coming off the pitch. Chiesa coming off the pitch. Allegri saying post-game, they travel from America. I needed to sub them. These players looked fuming when they were subbed. One, because Cambiasso was playing completely out of position and he was struggling. I don't blame him. And two, why would you sub off Chiesa? That's the only outlet. That was the only way. Even if he's not the most brilliant Chiesa tonight, it wasn't the worst Chiesa we've seen, but that was the only way you were gonna win that game. If you were actually gonna win that game, these players are done. Like they are done. The only players that are backing them are the players that are getting away with murder right now, and they're gonna get backed by the fans. I'll give him a new contract. Give him this. He works hard. Blah blah blah. We are rubbish all over the pitch. And if you are a serious club, you told Allegri, and people know what I said. I said, whatever, write it out with Allegri. But what I've seen against Lazio, it's done. Tudor had 2 weeks to prepare, a new team, half of them out for international break, and they had a plan. The pressing worked, they were disciplined. We, with one game a week since August, have absolutely no plan whatsoever. Nothing. We have nothing. And if you're a serious club, after a game, you go into the locker room, you pull Allegri aside, and you're like, you can talk to the media, but that's it. Tomorrow, you don't need to show up. Don't show up. Montero or whoever is going to take over because it's not about tactics right now. Tactics are not going to be implemented in the last 8 games, whatever. It's about the mindset. It's about sending a shockwave through that locker room saying, guys, this is big time. Because Chesney comes out and he talks about, I've never heard that. I'm not going to lie. It's the first time I heard a player come out and talk about the financial situation, the economics of the club if they do not make Champions League. That's the first time I ever heard that in any club. That a player comes out and he talks about, man, we need to get Champions League, but because economically for the club it's a disaster if you don't. That's insane. That's what the players are thinking about right now. That's insane. But that's it. That's what I said. That the mindset, whatever's being talked about in that locker room, is not okay. And that's what I mean with whoever comes in, a caretaker, he needs to send a shockwave through that locker room and shake things up and get that mindset right. Because we played with fear. We play like these players are out there and they're like, man, if we don't win today, the club is in big trouble financially. That's how they play. They play scared. They do not play to win games. I've seen Chiesa in the first half picking up the ball, trying to beat a couple of players, looking up, and absolutely nobody was following him. So he got smacked around or he lost possession because it was just bound to happen. I've seen Keane losing possession every single time because he was facing with his back towards goal, and it's so easy to defend, especially against a player like Romagnoli. He's going to have a field day, and he had a field day. It's a walk in the park. We don't have a plan. We do not attack well. We do not defend well. We do not set up well. We do nothing well. We do a lot of things poorly to extremely bad to rubbish, but we do absolutely nothing well. 3 years in, we do nothing well. 1 win out of 9, and the club is still making bullshit statements as we'll talk at the end of the season. We need a shockwave. We are not making top 4. We are not making top 4. I've seen Atalanta play. I've seen Roma play. I've seen Bologna play. I've seen their schedules. We are going to drop more points. In the last 8 games, if we play like that, we're not going to beat Fiorentina. We're not going to beat Torino. We're not going to beat Roma. Not going to beat Milan, Bologna. We're not going to beat these teams. Cagliari away, we're not going to win like that. You might fluke it against Salernitana and maybe Mons on the final day, and you have Allegri saying we will manage to qualify for the Champions League even in the final day. He's insane. Like, he's crazy. He's talking about the run we had in 2016 when we won the league. I'm like, dude, you went on a 28 game winning streak after that. If you go out on an 8 winning streak, I'm like, okay, whatever. But that's not going to happen. I think it's very clear it's not going to happen. We will play Lazio in the Coppa Italia, and I absolutely do not care about the Coppa Italia anymore. Because the next coach, if we do not get Champions League, is set up to fail. That's my worry right now. It's insane, but my bigger worry is getting into the Champions League for that money rather than winning the Coppa Italia. I will take that right now because the next coach is set up to fail if we do not qualify for the Champions League. It's not about playing games in Europe. It's about the financial backing, whatever idea behind it. If we do not make Champions League, the next coach starts with a complete handicap already. He's like, it is what it is. He starts with a massive issue. So I don't really care about the Coppa Italia. If you win it, good. But if you don't finish in the top 4, it's a complete disaster. Nobody's going to talk about the Coppa Italia because the next coach is going to need to sell their players, so the quote-unquote best players, and is getting nothing in return for it. That's the reality. And on this pace, you're not even getting Europa League at this pace. People need to wake up. People are scared to move on from Allegri and just say whatever. Montero, you do something randomly. Because what we are doing now is randomly. It cannot get worse. Again, 1 win out of 9. It cannot get worse than this. It cannot get worse than this. The next one up will not do a worse job than what's been doing now. Let's be real right here. If you give it to Montero, and I don't think he's a great coach, by the way, but it's not about tactics right now. It's getting the mindset right of these players. Is sending a shockwave and have some sort of reaction that you somehow win 4 games out of the next 8 in Serie A. The other drop points, and it will do the trick. That's what you need right now. And that's absolutely not going to happen like this. That's why I'm saying it's a small club right now. Because they're scared to make the big and easy decisions. They are. And they are looking at their own failure right now. They are looking at, we are losing a crazy amount of money, and we allowed that to happen. It's on them. And that's why I said small club, because from top to bottom, it's a shambolic situation. Alcon put his buddies up there, Ferrero and Scanovino, to do the financial aspect. Zero knowledge about football. Zero knowledge about football, because I've heard Ferrero and Scanovino talking about we've been unlucky. These people are insane and clueless. But these people are at the top of the club and leading this club. The future is looking poor. Even if you trust Juntili or not trust Juntili, up top it's poor. You have actually an owner, or like an owner, a president, thinking we have been unlucky in these last 9 games. You know how insane that sounds. If anyone thinks we've been unlucky the last 9 games, you're part of the issue, and they are part of the issue. So that's why the small club. But whatever. Enough for this video. Enough for this rant. So let me know in the comments what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification. And I will see you guys later tonight. Ciao.